The second surge worse than the first. The pandemic keeps charging. Where is the help from Washington? And beyond COVID-19, can Washington work better for all of us? A congressman who's calling it quits has a few parting thoughts. Today is Sunday, December 6, 2020, and this is Flashpoint. Hi, welcome to Flashpoint. Good to have you with us this morning. We come to you with the wolf at the door. The wolf in this case being the coronavirus. It is swirling across Michigan, and nationally, we're now losing about the equivalent of what we lost on 9/11 every single day. At the moment, the virus is claiming one American life every 30 seconds. Trends in Michigan had been leveling, but now we await the Thanksgiving effect. That should become clearer soon. But hello, Washington. In the words of Paul Simon, our nation turns its lonely eyes to you. Businesses are hurting. Restaurateurs in Michigan neared revolt this week, and with unemployment assistance still far too unreliable, the extended fighting over a relief package threatens to knock over too many people who have been barely standing for months. This morning, we're going to talk with Congresswoman Elissa Slotkin, a member of the Problem Solvers Caucus. She is pushing a nearly $1 trillion relief package. What is taking so long, and how should it work? We'll talk with her. Also, on the subject of how things should work, two Michigan congressmen are walking away from their seats on Capitol Hill because they don't feel things work. Justin Amash changed parties and then decided to step down. And I'll talk with Paul Mitchell this morning about his parting thoughts on walking away from the bitter divides in America. And back to coronavirus, we'll also talk with Lieutenant Governor Garlin Gilchrist about a new study of the impact of the virus on minorities. Things are improving. It's all this morning on Flashpoint. All right, let's start with the millions of Americans waiting for pandemic help from Washington. It has been moving at a glacial pace, no doubt impacted in part by the election season. But where is the cavalry? Good to have with us Congresswoman Elissa Slotkin, Democratic representative from Michigan's 8th District and a member of the Problem Solvers Caucus, which, Congresswoman, I guess should be assigned by definition. What your group supports has to come through compromise and in a bipartisan fashion, and yet you're struggling with folks on both sides to get this through.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Problem Solvers Caucus, equal numbers of Democrats and Republicans, we have been pushing since basically late August to get all sides back into a negotiating room and to hammer out a deal. It should have happened before the election, but election politics got in the way. We worked through Thanksgiving. People like Fred Upton and others really drilled down on the details, and we came up with a joint bipartisan proposal. We had a big press conference on it, and it is now happily the basis of negotiations that are going on right now in real time, which is great. But we've been really clear. No one should be going home for Thanksgiving or for Christmas, until and unless we get a COVID deal. So we're just, we're frustrated, and we're urging all of our collective leadership to just put the mission first and get something done so that people have some hope of recovery.
I should mention, I think Debbie Dingell's also a part of this group. So you've got three Michiganders as part of the. Oh, and Paul Mitchell, four, I should say. Yes, and we're going to talk to Paul here a little bit later on in the program. But aside from just the amount of money, are we still fighting over the best way for this money to be spent? What did we learn the first time about where the money should go? I know we've got a lot of disagreement in Washington about how much money should be going to help the states and back up state governments. But what have we learned about how this money is best spent?
So there's actually a lot of overlap in where we agree with Senator McConnell and his proposal. A big one is on the PPP program, right? This loan program for small businesses. Yep. We needed to adjust it. We know we had some major problems in the beginning with like the bigger businesses being the beneficiaries before the smaller businesses, and we corrected for that. But we all know that the businesses need to apply for a second loan if they need it. They need to know how they get loan forgiveness, and they need to understand that their loan is going to be tax exempt. So we laid out all that out. So we have a lot of agreement on what to do for our small businesses. Where we tend to disagree, and it seems to be a philosophical difference, is whether the federal government should help states with lost revenue. Our proposal says yes, because we know we're headed towards not being able to pay overtime and potentially layoffs of fire, police, first responders. But the Senate version just does not believe that the federal government, under any circumstances, even these extreme circumstances, should be helping our states and local communities. And that's still a stumbling block. So there's a lot that we've learned on what we need. And a lot of it is just bridging people to a time when this vaccine can be distributed and we can start to get back to normal. It's a bridge. That's what we need.
We've got the Governor Whitmer now pushing the legislature to come up with its own package of relief of $100 million or so. Does that, it's clearly a sign of the desperation that states are feeling at their own local level. Does that help your cause move this along forward, or does it muck it up a bit?
Well, listen, I mean, she's doing the prudent thing because she's watching what's happened since August and saying things haven't moved. She has to balance the budget. She has to do what she needs to do for the state. So I don't begrudge her that at all. I don't think it hurts us. I think it shows the level of urgency. And that's something that we're able to use back here in Washington to say, look at what's going on. All of our states are going through this right now. So understand why she had to do it. What I hope is that we can bring in some federal dollars. I mean, even just on food security, right? That's an area, again, where we differ. We have more people going to our food banks now than almost ever before.
Yes.
And 40% of those who are going now have never been to a food bank in their life. So we need to continue benefits past December 31st. This package does that. Education, wow, our schools really need extra help. They're doing kind of double duty right now. So, and then our hospitals, of course, our healthcare system is under strain again. So I think it's a common sense proposal. It's not everything Democrats want, and it's not everything that Republicans want. And that's probably a key to it actually making sense.
Well, compromise has become somehow a four-letter word. But you just make the point, though, that this pushes us into the new year. It pushes us into a new government. New leadership obviously coming in the White House, but perhaps in Congress as well. You do not, I believe, want to see Nancy Pelosi return as Speaker, correct?
Well, I made a pledge in front of my district and my state in 2018 that I wouldn't support Nancy Pelosi for Speaker, and I live up to my commitments. I think, frankly, we need to see new leadership on both sides. It's become so toxic and so difficult on these very issues that we're talking about to negotiate. I think that a lot of people have lost faith, and the rank and file members, really want to see kind of new blood. And of course, I'm really biased because I'd like to see more Midwesterners specifically representing our issues in leadership. Mm-hmm. So I made that commitment and I'm sticking to it. And I've told her personally.
Your name is being kicked around as Joe Biden fills out his administration. You no doubt know that your name is in play as being mentioned as possibly someone to lead the CIA. Do you have any thoughts about that? And just about in general, if you don't want to comment on whether or not you want to take a specific position, in general, your thoughts, though, about you just ran for Congress and leaving that seat to do something else.
Yeah, so this is the point. I just won re-election. It's a tough seat. Frankly, my seat, my district again voted for Donald Trump, and I'm a Democrat representing that district. Right. So I love what I do, and I'm not looking to do anything else, especially after it's literally just a month after the election. It's always nice to have your name out there in the ether, especially with other really great candidates. But I love what I do, and this is what I am doing.
Does that mean you would decline an invitation?
Listen, honestly, this is just not the level of conversation we've been having with, with anyone on the transition team.
No, understood.
I'm a former CIA officer. So listen, when I walked into the CIA in my 20s for the first time and saw that building and the stars on the wall and everything, it's a great thing to be mentioned, but this is what I feel passionate about, is being the representative of the 8th District.
Well, we really appreciate your time today. Of course, we don't see anybody in person anymore, so I'll go ahead and say for now, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and we'll talk to you again soon on Flashpoint.
Likewise. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks. Congresswoman Elissa Slotkin. We come back. She just mentioned Paul Mitchell, another member of that caucus. We'll talk to him next on Flashpoint on Local 4.